Hello and good morning, my dear student. This is KTHM College and I am Professor Sunita Suresh Borode, Assistant Professor from Department of English. So, my dear student, today we are going to have a lesson on lesson for MA Part 2 English student. Subject name is Indian Writing in English. So, first of all, I welcome you all, my dear students, in the second inning of after the great havoc of COVID-19. So, I hope all of you are best, and this all system is for you, my dear students. So, please stay home, stay safe, and we are here to solve all your queries and to take you to the new horizon of this knowledge. Okay, so welcome you all once again in MA Part 2, and subject is Indian Writing in English. This is our core paper. Okay, so actually this year MA Part 2 syllabus has changed, and according to change syllabus, there are other subjects which are new to you. Actually, these subjects are not new to you, but the subjects are new in the syllabus. And the first core paper which I am going to deal with, that is the Indian Writing in English. Okay, so my dear students, before going to the paper directly, I must take you to the syllabus. Okay, so the syllabus of this paper, Indian Writing in English. So now let's have a look at the syllabus. So now you are entering in semester 3. Okay, so for semester 3 there are 4 units. This among these 4 units, first unit is distributed, or first unit is prescribed for Kantapura, a novel by Raja Rao. Okay, so this novel is prescribed for you. The novelist is Raja Rao, is very well known novelist. And the second unit, which is also a novel, that is Nectar in a Sieve by Kamala Markandeya. And unit number 3 is in unit number 3 there are poetry section is given to the poetry section, and the poetries from Derosier to Sarojini Naidu's are covered under this section. The selected poets and their selected poems are covered in this section. Okay, and in unit number 4 there is a memoir, okay, by a very famous novelist, short story writer. The name is R.K. Narayan. You might have heard his name. You might have you might have seen his short stories which are adapted on screen. Okay, the name of the serial is Malgudi Days. Okay, so he is a very famous novelist. Even his one of his novel, that is name of the novel is Guide, which is also adapted into a film. The name of the film itself is the same, that is The Guide. Okay, so such novelist is R.K. Narayan, and his memoir which is prescribed for you, the name of the memoir is My Days, a Memoir. So this is the syllabus for semester 3rd. Okay, so we have to deal first with Kantapura. But before going directly to Kantapura, my dear student, you must be familiar with this, with the background of this syllabus, or with the background of Indian Writing in English. You must know that how Indian Writing in English has started, as it's an English writing. So definitely after the Britishers enter in India, after Britishers invade India, then after writing in English has started. So how it started, who has initiated writing in English. So all these things, all the history of Indian English literature, we must know this history of Indian English literature. So before going directly to the syllabus or to the Kantapura, we will have a look at the background, the short history of Indian English literature. Okay, so here is the history of Indian English literature, which is pre-independent India, or from pre-independent India. So the learning objectives of this pre-independent of this slide is that, or of this lecture is that, you will trace the social and intellectual context in which English language was introduced in India. Then we are going to discuss the early development of Indian English prose, then Indian English poetry and Indian English drama and novel. We are going to gain some ideas on Indian nationalism against British colonialism and the impact of Mahatma Gandhi and Indian freedom struggle on literature. So these all things we are going to learn in this section. So British government introduced modern education in India, and the motives of British government behind it was different. There are a number of motives, okay, but this study of Indian English literature, the history of Indian English literature, this will familiarize you with some of the important aspects of the social and intellectual context of English writing in English and its deep rooted influence on Indian minds. So though British government introduced modern education in India with their particular motives, this move entirely changed the social setup of India. Enlightened by modern education, the Indians of the period reacted with the characteristic vivacity and adulation. Novel gained immediate popularity amongst the educated Indians of the period. Various social, political, and national themes got expressed through the novel of the periods. And in this regard, Mr. Mulkraj Anand, R.K. Narayan, and Raja Rao, this triad took the most emphatic role. Now let's have a look at this next slide. So here we are going to know about the social context of the era. So modern education was made available to the people of India in the colonial regime under the British rule. Some Christian missionaries, British government, and some Western educated liberal Indians were responsible for the spreading of modern education in India. However, the dissemination of modern education in India was made by a British government for the fulfillment of its own political, economic, and administrative needs. And Lord Dalhousie took the initiative move. At the time, British had conquered the most parts of Indian territory, and they had established ever growing numbers of industries in this land. To rule such a vast area of land, they needed strong administration machinery, and it was almost impossible for them to supply such a mammoth requirement of educated people with the knowledge of English to work in the administrative offices, industrial establishments, courts, and other government institutions. Therefore, my dear students, therefore, the British government established schools and colleges in India to produce educated Indians. So, British had other motives too. Okay, this was not the one of the this was not the single motive, but they had other motives too. According to some British thinkers, modern education would attach Indians closely to the British rule. British statesmen like Macaulay, then Cecily Rhodes, regarded English culture as the most liberal and considered it the means of anglicizing the empire culturally. Some liberal minded Indians also advocated for modern education in India. For example, Chiplunkar, then Agarkar, Lokmanya Tilak, then Namdar Gokhale, Madan Mohan Malviya, Rajaram Mohan Roy, etc. And among these stalwarts, Rajaram Mohan Roy pioneered demand for modern education. He thought that this education would help in inculcating the scientific and democratic thinking in the minds of Indian people. And so he initiated the demand, and in 1854, with Wood's Education Dispatch, the modern education system had its formal beginning. Wood's Dispatch had three objectives for Indian education system. So these three objectives are, among the three, first one is that it wanted to spread Western culture in India. Okay, then it wanted trained educated personals for the public administration, and the last one is that it wanted to propose the Indians to various duties under the British government. Then we have the intellectual context of the era. So intellectual context, under the intellectual context, the influence of Western political thinkers upon educated Indians, and Indian English literature as an important component of Indian national literature. So due to English language, modern ideas of the Western civilization became accessible to a large numbers of Indians. Contemporary European movements also created political awareness in their minds. Western political thinkers like Thomas Paine, then Rousseau, Stuart Mill, etc., became known to them. They became known to Indian educated people, which enhance their understanding of the political situation of India. Apart from this, English also acted as the medium of communication and exchange of ideas. Students, that India is a country of diverse region, diverse religion, and the people living in diverse region, they are having their own languages. So before this, before the English entered in India, it was almost impossible. It was very difficult for the Indians from one region to communicate with the Indian of other region. Okay, because of the barrier of language. Because language, there are a number of language in India, and that's why there is no common uniform language in India. When English entered in India, as English entered in India, and all people, they started getting education in English. The English become a uniform language, and which would avail them the opportunity to communicate with the other people, or with the people from other region of India, and this gave them chance. This gave them chance to exchange their ideas. Okay. Among the educated Indians of various languages, communities, etc. Okay. Then my dear students, in this history of English literature, we have first the emergence of Indian English prose. Okay. First, how Indian English prose emerged in India, that we'll see. So the first Indian English prose was written by C.V. Boria in 1803. The name of his prose is An Account of the Jains. It was actually 28-page essay about the views of Jain priest, but it remained a religious book or religious script rather than essay. And first official essay, or first, for what we can say, the first essay in English, Indian writing in English, that was by Raja Ram Mohan Roy. A defense of Hindu theism was basically regarded as the first original prose writing in English by an Indian. His abridgment of the Vedanta, Kena and Isa Upanishad, which was written in 1816, then Precepts of Jesus, which was written in 1820, and A Conference between an Advocate for and an Opponent of Burning Widow Alive, which was written in 1818. Then comes the name, that is Krishna Mohan Banerjee, Ram Gopal Ghosh, Harish Chandra Ghosh, Bal Shastri Jambekar. Bal Shastri Jambekar, the name is associated with Darpan. Okay, he founded Darpan, the first English and Marathi journal. And then comes the name Dadabhai Naoroji, who wrote Poverty of India in 1873 and Poverty and Un-British Rule in India. Then Radhakrishnan Pandit Nehru. Then comes the name of Mahadev Govind Ranade. His very famous book, prose, that is Rise of Maratha Power. Then Bal Gangadhar Tilak. He was regarded as the father of the Indian unrest. His speeches okay, which were delivered in English, were collected in a book, and the name of the book is Writing and Speeches, which was published in 1922. Then there are other names of the prose writer which came, prominent prose writer, and that is Gopal Krishna Gokhale, then Rabindranath Tagore, Sir Aurobindo. So these were some of the prolific prose writers in the century, in that century in India. So, my dear students, now in this lecture, what we had learned, that is, we had learned that how Britishers, of how English language entered in India, and how it became the language of our literature, or how Indian started writing literature in English. So first among it, we have learned the history of Indian English prose, and the next lecture we'll learn the history of Indian English poetry and Indian English novel and drama. So for today's lecture, this is all for today's lecture, and I hope you have understood this lecture. If you have any queries, if you have still any problem, you can ask me, you can write or you can reply me, and we'll discuss once again. And till then, bye, and keep watching these videos, keep update yourself with the syllabus, with the study, because the new term has started. So my students, stay at home, stay safe, and keep watching the videos, and keep on studying. So thank you very much for today.